Well, hello everyone. Good afternoon and good morning actually, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. My name is Amy and I will be with you for the show today. And what a wonderful start it is here at Tau in Madikwe. Beautiful view of a waterbuck. There's a black-headed heron and some zebra around. It has been a while since I've joined you here at the Waterhole Show, so I'm looking forward to seeing all of the animals that come down to the water today. Now remember that this is, of course, a live and interactive show, so please do chat to me. You can send through your comments and questions in a variety of different ways, whether it's on the website or the app. You can also chat to us on X using the hashtag WildEarth. Or you can chat away in the YouTube chat stream, or you can WhatsApp us all the comments and questions that you have. It's starting, I don't know if Tau had some rain here at Madikwe at all, or if it's just the remnants. But there is some green around, which is nice to see for this time of year. Lovely to see so many animals, and there must be very limited supply of water in Madikwe at the moment, so much of the game coming to the waterholes that they know of to hang out. There was a whole herd of wildebeest around here earlier before the show started. There's a beautiful kudu, some kudu bulls. Oh my word, that one in the back has huge horns. Very impressive. Hannah, you are ready to watch the wildlife at the waterholes. That's great to hear. It's always so calming and relaxing, isn't it, to just spend time. And we have so many different places which is such a wonderful part of the show, depending on what's where. Fuzzy Dunlop, lovely to hear from you. Happy Feline Friday. Indeed, I don't know if we're going to have any felines on the show today, but we can always hope. I'm pretty sure that waterbuck just had a good. Fair enough, it gets to that time of the day. One wants to have a rest. Looks like he's closing his eyes a little bit as well. And we can see that this is a male waterbuck by those horns, really. And they are pretty much fully grown, I would say. They just are still close together. I don't know, I find sometimes the more mature bulls have them a little bit set further apart. But that can also be linked to genetics as well. And interesting to note the difference with the kudus there and the spiral horns, and that is also a young bull. He's only got, it looks like, 2 curls there, sort of in the beginning, sort of end, I would say, of his second curl. A lovely start here at Tal with so much variety already, but it's time for some elephants, so let's head over to Rosie's. The elephant and the hippo. The saga continues. We've had a hippo here before that often is sometimes chased out by the elephant, so we'll have to see what unfolds. But so nice to have some elephants coming to cool down here. My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
My full name is Maxine Gaines. Best part of the job, gosh, I just love everything about guiding. I love being able to observe animal behavior and animals behaving naturally. So for me, that's by far the best part of the job. And so what we do here at Wild Earth is develop those connections with the people that are viewing, and maybe just light a little spark that says, you know what, I want to be involved in protecting this ecosystem.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a Wild Earth explorer, you won't miss a thing.
Incredible.
Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7 and rewind if you want to catch something again. Enjoy behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and early access to travel offers. The best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
The one on the left definitely looks larger in size than the one on the right, but these boys would know each other, possibly part of the same bachelor herd. The one on the left being more dominant than the other. Oh, look at that. A little bit of a rubbing post there as he went past. Oh, bonus. You didn't even have to get your own mud for yourself. You could share it with your friend. Ah, well, there are more Ellies around, everyone. Let's head over to Tembe. Well, this is such a lovely spot, isn't it? Always so beautiful. And even though they did a lot, of course, during the dry season, it is always home to so many elephants that love being around here. Looks like there may be a herd passing through. That's very nice to see. I always think of Tembe as a little bit of a bachelor hangout. We normally see just boys here. And in the summer, these sort of hollows that you can see right in front, closest to the camera, are filled with mud, and the elephants just love it. Oh, there's an Inyala coming through there, just in front now. Oh, and a little one following Mom. Charles, hello. You asking, is it possible to track all animals on a game reserve? So, Charles, if we are about mammals, then yes, in terms of identifying their tracks, depending on where you find yourself, different areas will have certain animals that occur there and those that don't. And oh, there's some impalas coming for a drink as well now. And so, in that way, part of learning tracks specific for your area is part of what one does in becoming a guide, or even becoming, of course, in more specifically a tracker if one is sort of specializing in that. But all animals includes so many things, including all the insects and certain reptiles as well, which, yes, you can. There are certain ones that leave very clear marks, and so many of them you might not be able to go species specific, but you can say, even with birds, you might know that it's from a passerine, which is a perching bird, but the size is too similar in terms of many birds that are the same size to be able to differentiate species, except when sort of maybe a family group like a starling track is very clearly different, or a Frank spur file, you're able to identify, or a thickney, for example, there's or a red-crested cohan. So or then because of the type of track, depends on the type of track, can be species specific, or you're going to be able to say a group that belongs to. But when you think of impala, duiker, all the different antelopes, you can differentiate each one. And then in terms of tracking them, essentially the tracks have to go somewhere. Eventually, if you're able to find enough evidence to follow or use your intuition in terms of trailing a species. So yes, but many of the animals aren't a priority in terms of tracking and finding. So that is why often, we're not really trailing impalas. But that's good ways in trying to follow even giraffe tracks, for example, elephant tracks. But birds would be very difficult to track. Yes, you could see that they fed here or they moved here, but then of course most of them can fly away. Thor ready? Yes. Oh my word, wouldn't that be awesome? It is Feline Friday after all. I don't know when last cats were seen at the Waterhole show, but who knows, maybe it will be today. There have been lions seen at Tembe here around the Waterhole, so we do know that there is a pride that comes through the area every now and again. Nice to see more elephants arriving as we sit and spend some time here. Lion Lloyd, hello. You are asking if giraffe eat grass and also how long their tongues are, because they seem to use it as a tool to eat with, just like an elephant's trunk. You are very in terms of your observation, they do use it twisted around leaves like an elephant does. It's just that they are a little bit more precise, I would say, with what they're after than an elephant can be, and that's because of the shape of their muzzle, really very long and pointy, and their tongue being a lot thinner than an elephant's trunk. It's not quite as long though. It reaches 40 centimeters in length, depending on the size of the giraffe, of course. So it's a decent length, and we saw them actually feeding in the Timbavati River yesterday at Sandringham, and the one male was reaching up his head and his tongue was wrapping around all the juicy leaves that he was after. Although I don't know how juicy they were at this time of year, but he was trying. In terms of if they eat grass, speaking, no. They are browsers and they'll be looking for mostly leaves, but they also... My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
Would you like to know what an elephant's favourite food is? You could ask me questions like that in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive from the heart of Africa. Over here. Watch Safari Live and connect with nature.
Because they are adapting their diet to what's available. They're also known further north where the mapanis grow to eat a lot of dried mapani leaves because of the protein content in the leaf. And so it's a good option for them where there's not much grass around to actually eat up the dried leaves. So they are definitely adaptations that these animals make. All right, well, beautiful here at Tembe. Let's head over to Camelthorn. Oh my goodness. Wow, this is amazing. Wow. Now you can see how sort of dry the area here is around Camelthorn, and you can just imagine how much of an attraction the water is. Oh my word, this elephant is getting a bum rub. Or he's taking a seat. I mean, either way. You can hear the zebras calling. So many zebras. I'm not sure what has caused the mass evacuation here. They are coming back again. did sound like there was maybe some sort of a mechanical noise there. I'm not sure. At the farmstead here, maybe a truck or something like that made a little bit of a disruption. But these animals will come back slowly. You can already see them making their way, but that was quite cool to see them all run like that, my word. And some very nice examples of zebras calling that we can hear here. Lolly, it's interesting. I do think there's circumstances when a herd mentality doesn't favor animals. Of course, they have that instinctual sort of reaction because, well, if you thought something's wrong, then I must also think something's wrong. And so they all just run. Zebras do it, wildebeest, buffalo as well. And I mean, many others, and koalas too. But it's, I think that, yeah, sometimes it can, I don't know if it can ever be very bad, but I do think that sometimes predators can take advantage of that mentality. And even though generally them not staying with the herd, which would mean that they could get targeted that way, but I think sometimes they count on them all running in a certain direction. And if they didn't, then maybe they would have a better chance of survival. I also think an example in the Great Migration is, that all that herd mentality with the wildebeest crossing the rivers. And you just think, why are you all going that way when there's a much easier path just to the left? No one wants to think differently than the one in front. So yes, it's I think it can be bad in certain circumstances. Wow. Well, these are some very vocal zebra. While they continue to make a noise, let's head over to some swimming eddies at Olifants. Well, this is going to be a treat, I think. We've got, it looks like big brother and little brother here together. Hopefully they do have a bit of a pool party. I love this spot along the Olifants River. I'm a sucker for a river. I love spending time with them. I could sit and just watch a river for the whole day. In reserves like this, there's just so much potential for anything popping out at any time. I've had some wonderful sightings along rivers in the Kruger, all the way from the Crocodile to the Limpopo. Jive Bunny, hello. Yes, I know. I'm back here already. I had a wonderful time in Sanjing. I'm looking forward to being back in a little while. But it's nice to be on the show today and tomorrow. I'll be here before I take a sort of full-on break, as it were. But I missed the Waterhole show too much to not pop in here before I take my leave. Wow, river just beautiful. Some impalas there in the background. These elephants moving along. Philemon, I know. And now we're going across the river, which is, I mean, I don't know if they're going to cross entirely, but it's when we hear the rumbles from one to the other. What a scene. These are such beautiful to have elephants crossing the olifants.
Oh, wow. Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word. She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. This is action-packed.
Do you want to know why impala are the most common antelope we find here in the Kruger National Park? You can ask me questions like this in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live. Connect with nature.
There's some ellies that we're approaching now.
The light on her as well is absolutely gorgeous.
So we are going to enjoy the rest of this sunset.
Wow, this is absolutely crazy.
And thank you for joining us. For myself and Cam, we will see you next time.
Every month, something wild lands in your inbox. From rare sightings and behind-the-scenes secrets to expert stories, seasonal changes, and exclusive travel opportunities, the Wild Earth Journal is your free monthly mailer, packed with the magic of the wild straight from the field. It's fun, it's free, it's full of surprises. Sign up now on the Wild Earth website.
But I've only actually ever seen the elephants cross from left to right. I don't know why I've never seen an elephant crossing from right to left, but I'm sure that happens as well. All right, well, it seems like elephants are the theme for today. Let's head up to Old Donyo. Wow, well, this is a treat. Always wonderful to spend time here with all the animals in Kenya at Old Donyo Lodge, and you can see lots of zebra. There's also some eland, and of course these elephants being the main or the biggest visitors that this waterhole is seeing at the moment. So many of them around. The zebras taking their chance to have a drink. Oh, Philemon, what a sort of layered question in terms of the role that elephants play in maintaining the waterhole ecosystem. So, I mean, they have such a huge impact on ecosystems in general, but specifically around waterholes. I mean, they play a large part in actually the structure of the waterholes, how big they get in terms of sort of the area around. The more they dig, they can reshape waterholes, even river systems as well, or drainages where water flows. So their impact can be quite a lot. Even the water itself, this of course being a pumped pan, means that it has a supply, but it also means that if there wasn't, their role can dry up water holes, of course a lot quicker due to the amount of water that they need. It looks like they're on parade, these elephants, the way that they're walking past us one after the next, each modeling. They also have an impact on so not just the amount of water, but also the contents of the water. When they defecate into the water, urinate, they are depositing minerals into that changes the sort of the makeup of that water. It also allows vegetation to get into the water through their dung that other animals, aquatic life, can feed off of. So they have a huge impact. And maintaining balance to some degree. Christine, hi. You would like to know why elephants' teeth weigh down so much. So it is all about what they're eating, Christine, what they use their teeth for. There's a lot of chewing that has to go on. And they chew, I wouldn't say 24/7, but for the vast majority of the day. They do a lot of biting, ripping of bark, chewing of grass, which doesn't weigh down their teeth as much, but as it gets drier and drier, it does get rougher, especially now in the dry time, at least in Southern Africa. And so that impacts the wearing down of the tooth, and that's just little bits of particles every time that are rubbing off and rubbing off and rubbing off. And eventually those teeth wear down to a point where there's no more ridges left on them, so they can't break down their food any further. And so eventually dying of basically malnutrition because of the loss in body mass and their organs can't function properly, etc. There's a sea of stripes happening over here. It's amazing to have the mix of zebra and giraffe together like this. Wow. I mean, zebra and giraffe, sorry. Zebra and elephant. Oh, that one's got a scar there. You see that big patch on its sort of just in front of its left rump. Must be an old injury that's healed up. Wow. You see that patch missing? A lot of dust around. It looks quite windy as well. It's amazing how all of a sudden it's numbered by the zebra. Oh, and there's an oryx arriving there in the midst of things. It's moving off to the right.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
Would you like to know at what age a buffalo calf gets its horns? These are questions that you can ask me in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
Oh, I do apologize there, everyone. We've just had to come back to Jackie's in the Sabi Sand. Looks like there's at least one hippo in the water, unless that's a very strategically placed rock. Zenbe, you want to know if elephants suffer from dental problems like humans? I'm sure they may. I don't know if we would know about it. They definitely don't have access to the dental care that we have created as humans to help with those sorts of issues. But I'm sure they might get abscesses, they may get infections in the mouth, but I don't think they're going to suffer from things like cavities, for example. That is basically something that they don't have to worry about due to the diet that they eat and that sort of thing. But they may have a tooth problem, or anything, cuts and scrapes in their mouth that get infected and cause pain. So I don't think their problems may be as intense as ours to some degree, but there's also nothing they can do about it. They have to deal with whatever they have to deal with, and often these things sort themselves out. Of course, there are vets and teams that can intervene if need be. I know on a reserve I used to work at called Pinda, there was a elephant with an infected tusk, I believe, and they actually darted him and removed there was a lot of gunk in there because the tusk had broken off and it had gotten infected, and that needed to be treated. But because it's quite an intensely managed reserve, and there's a lot more work that has to be done with the animals and that sort of thing, they made the decision to intervene. But I'm sure there's other sort of very big open systems like the Greater Kruger where there's not such intense management over the animals, and there's many that might get something like an infected tusk, for example, or just animals in general with teeth problems that may occur that aren't intervened on behalf, because it is nature and we have to let nature be nature. This hippo is doing some dung flicking. Right, well, here we are at Moela in Botswana, and it seems like elephants and zebra are the theme all across Africa today. Well, this is a new waterhole for me, a new location. I haven't been here yet. It looks like the zebra's wearing stockings. I'm not sure if that's just because it's walked through some mud. I have a feeling that is the case. There's another one wearing stockings on the right. But it really does look like it's got, those stockings that sort of go above the knee. Chloe, yes, we see multiple animals getting irritated by birds, including other birds. That behavior is called mobbing, when smaller birds generally irritate bigger ones that are a potential threat to them. We often see it with starlings and drongos and rollers, all sort of flying down and sometimes even bumping into birds of prey, for example. But yes, I mean, the oxpeckers irritate many birds. You can see that, sorry, not birds, animals like buffaloes, even the zebra, if they get too much up the nose or in the ear or around the eye. Giraffe also do a head shake. There's so much life around here. It's incredible, isn't it? I'm just trying to see if everything is just zebras and a few elephants, or if there's anything different that's in between that I haven't noticed. It's interesting how zebras will often stand like this with another one. I think it is more about sort of having eyes and ears at either end of yourself to help look out for danger. But I think there's a social aspect to it as well, in terms of a bond or feeling comfortable enough with that person to do that sort of standing or position. Sometimes rest their heads on each other's rumps. I must say that sometimes these zebras do sound a little bit like a howling dog. I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but that's what comes to mind. Hans, it's such a great question, and something that I think, in terms of animals preparing for the change of season, even if they don't migrate, I do think that there's an awareness that things are changing, even if they're not necessarily moving a great distance. There's still that sort of shift, perhaps in behavior, that might change. And even we see it, I mean, the triggering of the rat in impalas in southern Africa. They're not migratory animals in southern Africa, and their behavior changes. So I do think that there's preparation, maybe not preparation in what we're thinking, like I need to be ready for the new season, but preparation in that there are behavioral changes that do take place in the anticipation of the rains that come, or the lack thereof of rains. And that can also be their movements as well that might be adjusted within an area. Zenbei, I know it does look that way. I'm not sure exactly if there's different spots that are pumped. It does look like there's somewhat of a trough where these animals are hanging out, but I think it's very normal for this area, given the type of habitat that we're looking at here, for the water levels to be very low, especially at this time of year. But we await the rains that are just a few months away. And I'm excited to see some of these new locations with the rains that come. It will be fascinating to see if this place just turns into a complete oasis.
let's go and take a look. See you out there.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
Would you like to know the difference between a male and female wildebeest? You can ask me questions like this in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
Hyenas love bathing.
Some of you out there are brilliant at identifying hyenas.
Now, why do you think people have got this huge misunderstanding about reptiles?
Right in front of me there was the face of an astounded buffalo bull.
This is live and interactive, so everybody, if you have any questions and comments, please do send them through and let us know what you'd like.
It really is laser focus with these birds, and they have to be so still because they need whatever they're eyeing to come directly in the perfect spot for them to quickly stab it and grab it. Either whether it's a frog or a small fish, sometimes a rather big fish. It looked like an elephant, what I saw the reflection of there. That is a huge bull. Oh, my goodness me. Not sure if it's making its way to or from the water. Julia, it's difficult to sort of say how sharp the edge of the beak is, but it is very sharp. It's part of why it's so pointed like that. Kingfishers have a very similar shape as well, actually a little bit longer and thinner, I would say, than the herons, but lots of the water birds do have that pointed beak to help them hunt. But then you also see something like a spoonbill that has a completely flattened beak, and named, of course, after a spoon. So each one has their sort of specialty in the way that they hunt. But I've never actually felt it or seen it close up, so other than, of course, with watching the bird itself. But I think you could probably pierce, whether it's paper or sort of, I don't think it has a small hook like the hammerkop. I think it's just completely straight. But I'm not sure if you put your finger there whether it would actually pierce the skin or not, in terms of how sharp it is at the edge. Roy, I can't say that I have. I have been guiding through some very dry times, but not in what would be referred to as a distinctive drought period. That I think the last known one in the Kruger was 2015, 2016, within the Lowveld, where I have done almost all my guiding in terms of lodge-based guiding. So that was when I visited actually on a family holiday in the dry season, and I mean there were hippo carcasses, buffaloes were being eaten left, right and center. It was really an horrific time. Important part of nature's ecosystem and balancing out numbers, sort of like a natural culling mechanism in that way, which is important. But I was not guiding guests through that time.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. I grew up mostly in the Lowveld. I grew up here pretty much on the southern side of Kruger National Park, a place called Marlow Park, for most of my years. Something surprising about myself, I did play drums in a band for many years. Best sighting I presented, we found Palumba and the two cubs, and the cubs are just way big.
Can you hear that? The wild is calling.
Oh, there we have 2 Egyptian geese. Oh, all of a sudden running off. Another hammerkop there now on the log. I'm excited for birding, everybody. It's coming, the summer season. All of our visitors, we're going to hear the Deirdre's cuckoo calling here at Tau like we so often do. Ooh, is that? It looked like, oh, there's a croc, but they looked like another bird that was moving, possibly looking like a secretary bird, but I'm not sure. That is a huge crocodile. It's got a great spot there. I think it's very, very comfortable. There we have some white-faced whistling ducks and a very busy spoonbill. We were talking about the fact that the spoonbill has a different shaped beak, and you can see that hunting style is completely different. I mean, it is so busy. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. The heron using more of a stealthy tactic to sneak up on whatever it's, or sort of waiting, lying in wait for something to swim past, should I say. Well, nice to see this bird so busy. Let's head back up to Kenya. Wow, well, the giraffes have arrived now, everyone. Look at this. Waiting for a space. I don't know if they're going to get a gap. We'll have to see how brave they are. The zebras are very feisty. I mean, if I was the size of a zebra and I had 10 elephants that close to me, I don't think I would be going for a drink. It's amazing how they do brave it. And also, in a group sense, they feel a lot more confident, I think. Well, I'm sure we'll come back here soon, but apparently quite a big troop of baboons have arrived at Tau, so let's go have a look. Well, they are always interesting to watch, aren't they? One has sort of found something that it's scratching around in. That one sitting on the rock, I love it. And this is typical of baboon troops to move through an area. They might even hang out around the waterhole for an extended period. Good place to look for food, have a drink of water. The little ones love to play. Do a bit of allo grooming. They do love to sort of get rid of parasites or comb through each other's fur as well. Jim, yes, I do think so. I don't know if it would necessarily sort of actively fish in that way, but I think if there's an opportunity to grab fish, I'm trying to think if I've seen it or if I saw footage of it, but baboon eating a fish and even a barbel that may have been sort of maybe not completely dead yet, but perhaps the water level dropped and was just lying there, and maybe in the mud it was able to grab. Especially the catfish do become quite easy to get to if there's just sort of mud left in a pan. Well, as these baboons move on here at Tau, wow, they are strutting their stuff. Some blue wildebeest there in the background. Let's head back up to Oldonyo with some interesting elephant activity. My goodness, that is a very small elephant. It looks dwarfed by the others. I feel so sorry for it. It is a bull that's obviously left the herd. It's still very small and young. Lots to learn. The rest of these boys are giants in comparison. Ooh, this is interesting. We've come over quickly to Tau because there's some interesting crocodile activity. They very well... is there two here? It must be. Yes, it looks like maybe mating. Yeah, that is it. I definitely think so. It is the time of year for this to happen. Very much so. Oh wow, this is very cool, everyone. Look at that foot. How often do you get to see underneath a crocodile foot? And of course the male on the back there, the female underneath. And they will be mating sort of any time from now October, sort of ending around October, and then they'll lay their eggs around December time or so, peak summer. Wow. You really don't get to see this every day. You know, you always wonder, how does it happen? Because there's a lot of dynamics that have to happen in terms of it being successful, thinking how big the tail is, how does that work? And this is obviously how they do it. Water being an ideal helper to just help sort of counteract the weight there. Wow. This is very, very cool. Melanistic marble, they're at it again. Yes, I believe. I don't know how recently, but I remember something about crocodiles were mating. It's happened in a few different spots now. I think here included. I feel like he's holding on for dear life. I mean, that is quite the sort of situation to navigate effectively in terms of placement and position. He's doing a good job.
For years, we've shared virtual wildlife. Now, let's experience it for real. I'm Lauren Arthur, and I'd love to show you my amazing home here in the Greater Kruger of South Africa. This 5-night journey is an exclusive connection to my piece of untamed Africa. I live here in these gorgeous landscapes surrounded by epic wildlife. The wild is calling, so come and join me.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. The best driver at Wild Earth, it is me. I believe I'm the best driver. I think so, because I've... Best part of my job, I say, is just to try and look out for these animals, track them down. I love tracking animals. I love looking for, fresh tracks, and if you can find them, it's just at the moment of accomplishment. If I wasn't a presenter for Wild Earth, I would be the drummer for AC/DC.
Greatest wildlife spectacle on planet Earth. We'll see you there.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a Wild Earth explorer, you will not miss out. Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7, and you can even rewind if you have missed out on something. Enjoy the behind the scenes video clips as well as fireside chat, or get the early offers on our travel experiences. It's the best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
He definitely looks smaller than her. But they do say that the larger females will mate first in a season. They sort of have preference. I mean, that makes sense in terms of size. They would chase the smaller ones away. Was that a different crocodile, or did I see incorrectly? But there seemed to be a crocodile that came from the left. Jonna, it is interesting to say, you know, in terms of initiation of mating, but I believe that the males will display for the females. Now, whether that's the female's presence around the males and she's like, hey, I'm ready, and he has to do his thing, I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to do some more reading for you, but I do know that they both have to participate in terms of that, and she needs to basically accept his advances as well to be ready for it. And so in some ways I think the female might initiate. This is, I mean, just to see all of this happening is quite the story, everyone. My word. Just trying to work out where. This is definitely, of course, one crocodile on the left, and there's another one there. I can see a tail. I'm trying to work out what third head I saw, or if I did, or if my mind was playing tricks on me. While these crocodiles do their thing, let's head over to some sable at the hide. Wow, what a view. This is a beautiful sable bull, my word. He is gorgeous. Look at those horns. Looks like he's having a little bit of a look. I don't know what he's checking out. There's some helmeted guinea fowl you can just see in the foreground there, making their way past. Ooh, what was that snort for? Have you seen something? looks like, I mean, I'm not saying that there's definitely a predator here, but it's interesting behavior. It definitely sounds like what I would consider an alarm call, although I haven't spent too much time with Sable to know what the alarm call sounds like in terms of the different vocalizations. I think it's worth a scan around, potentially. Well, this hippo couldn't be bothered. I'm not sure what that Sable is upset about, but that definitely sounds like it's alarming at something.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
If you love watching Wild Earth, here's a little tip. You'll gain access to the channel ad-free. You can rewind and rewatch sightings and gain access to our live Tuesday safaris. There's also behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and every safari live episode, whenever it suits you. It's just the best way to connect with nature.
is very good to know. I mean, lions are definitely in the area, but if they were here the other day, it means that they could still be in the area. Still snorting like that. Interesting. Unless it just has far superior eyesight to everybody else and is like, why is no one else freaking out? Or maybe it picked up a scent of something rather than actually seeing it. But still beautiful to see this antelope. It is so impressive always when sable are around. We talk about being able to understand, interpret, and sort of explain animal behavior. And you can clearly see that that sable is not relaxed. Its focus is elsewhere. It's snorting like that. It keeps sort of like looking back over its shoulder, distracted in a way, but very focused on whatever it is that it thinks it sees, or maybe there is something in the thickets that's just very well camouflaged. EJ, this spot is your favorite on earth. It is somewhere very, very special, isn't it? This part of Zimbabwe. So wild, so many amazing sights to see. Oh, it's deciding to walk off. Well, now that sable's moved behind the thickets here, let's head back over to Kenya. Well, I thought this would be nice to finish off our waterhole show today with. I can't believe there's just a few minutes left. It's been so wonderful to be back, everyone. Really lovely chatting to you all. Thank you for sending through all the comments and questions that you have done. And yeah, just to be back and see all the animals that are out and about at the waterholes. My goodness, it was quite a busy 2 hours that we spent together. And so nice to see all the action here at Oldonyo, of course. I do hope those giraffes get to the water eventually. Oh, Deb, thank you so much. My plans are, my husband and I will be far, actually. We stay local in the sort of Dalstrom area, heading to sort of in the around Kraskop, which isn't far. Hopefully going to do some birding and relaxing, some hiking, and just enjoying some time together, as well as some rest. I'm so glad that you enjoy me on the show, whether it's here or on our live drives. I enjoy being here. I am a break, but I will be back with you tomorrow for another waterhole show. After that, I'll be back in just over a week or so. So not gone, but I'm looking forward to being back that side. Well, there's still a giraffe there in the background, and hopefully it'll be able to get to the water soon while these zebras are still taking their chance. Well, everyone, it's been so wonderful having you on board. I look forward to being back with you tomorrow. I trust that you have a pleasant day or evening ahead, depending where you are in the world, and I will be back for another show tomorrow. Keep well and goodbye.